Welcome to Planting Seeds. We will be planting seeds of wellness, knowledge, and nurturing. I'm your host, Jill O'Hara, and my mission is to provide you with accurate, up-to-date, and high-quality information that will enhance your life, help you to live a more balanced, healthier, and more joyful life. As an RN and holistic health practitioner, my greatest desire is to help others to reach a place of well-being. Each week we will be presenting special guests who will offer their expertise and help you to live your best life. We want you to heal, grow, and thrive. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us again once more on Planting Seeds. I'd like to wish everyone a happy springtime, the time of new beginnings and fresh starts, and I hope that you're maybe working on something special that you want to see manifested in your life for the rest of this year. Today I am being joined by Janet Deese. Janet, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Janet is a Reiki master, she's an art teacher, and she is also a meditation teacher, and she works out of Illuminating Wellbeing Center, and she has some really interesting information to share with us today. So Janet, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, as you said, I'm a Reiki master, an energy worker, and I founded Illumination Wellbeing on the idea that the power to heal lies within. And I basically am trying to provide people with tools and knowledge to get in touch with that well of well-being inside each of us.
Exactly, exactly. And I'd like to just make a quick comment. Reiki is a form of energy work, as you said, and some people might not be familiar with that. And if you think about it, we are all energy. There's energy all around us, and we can utilize and harness that energy to help the body to come to a point of deep relaxation and to healing. And I understand that you go beyond the traditional Reiki and that you've kind of developed your own little Reiki style. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's something I call Celtic light weaving. I'm working with the universal life force energy, which is what all of the energy work is based upon, but I've incorporated some of my own methods that sort of weave the light and the energy around and in between and up and down. It's kind of like I sort of see the light. And I also incorporate various shamanistic practices as well, in energy clearing, some herbal work, and just all around.
So you've brought together your own little creation. You did mention when we were talking, it's kind of like shamanic work almost. And can you tell me a little bit how you got into that?
Well, it kind of came upon me, I guess. My mother was from Ireland, and there was a lot of healing women in her side of the family. And in 2008, on a trip to Ireland, I encountered a shamanic healer. And the journey sort of began at that point with the shamanism. It did me a lot of good, and I realized it was something that could really help people. So it kind of just has been coming in without me even being able to stop it.
So you've been spending a little bit more time with that and getting to know it and getting to learn it and to use it to help other people. When you first started this journey, was there one certain spark, was there one certain thing that made you want to get into this type of work? Because it's not rare, but it's not common.
Right. There were a few things. You don't really see your path ahead of you. It just sort of meets you. But I had a very close friend who was diagnosed with stage 4B lymphoma. And he was basically giving 6 months to a year to live. And at that point in time, I started working with him. I had just been doing a lot of studying, and I believe the idea that the power to heal comes from within. I also believe very strongly that your thoughts create your reality. Change your thoughts, change your life. So I kind of, out of almost desperation with my friend, was trying to convince him of these things, but at the same time I was learning that they really were real and true from something that had happened in my life earlier. So long and short of it, my friend is now in remission, something they said that would never happen.
Wow.
He was, like, again, he's at his 4 or 5 year mark now, and that's kind of what encouraged me to start the center, because I thought there's just people that need to know about this. And not saying I didn't heal my friend healed himself.
Right.
But by being introduced to Reiki, the energy, meditation, it really developed a spiritual side, and that's what kind of led me to opening my center.
Right. And I think the community needs to know that when we're talking this type of work, while you're facilitating, basically, you're a tool for the universe to assist people to get to the point where they can heal. And that's really a very important point that I do want to make, is when we're doing energy work, we're not doing healing. We're helping to facilitate that, helping people to get to the point where they understand that the healing comes from within. It doesn't come from without, because as you know and I know, the disturbances in the physical body, they're created on a different level, the emotional level, and the things that we draw into us in our environment and our foods and everything else. Now, you brought up one other thing, is the meditation. Tell me a little bit about what you do with the meditation, because I find that your approach is unique as well.
Well, as you say, getting in touch with that spark within. And I find that I do visually guided healing meditations. They're sort of spirit journeys where we're sort of coaxing that spirit out of the physical self into a realm of, outside the physical self, into many realms. And it's sort of opening the self to the healing. Just kind of shutting everything that's sort of here out and letting everything that's here in.
Right. And I think that's another important aspect of when we talk about any kind of holistic healing, is we need to get quiet before we can get to the point where we start to heal. And using practices such as meditation or guided meditation is a beautiful way to get there, because it quiets the mind, it calms everything down, creates that realm where relaxation can occur, so that whatever is available, whether you call it God or the universe or higher power, we know that there's something out there available to us, but we have to get quiet long enough to let that spirit come to us. When you're looking at meditation and you're guiding people in meditation, is there a specific way you like to go about that? Is it one-on-one? Do you teach it in the classroom? What's your preference?
Actually, I have both. I just started the one-on-one because during a couple of my group meditations, one person showed up and I thought, well, we'll do it anyway. And it was just such a profound experience. I realized that there's a place for that as well. But I also do small group meditations, usually about 12 people. And I offer that sort of experiential lunch and learns to small businesses or businesses. And I do a bunch of free ones at local libraries too, just to sort of turn people onto it, because I think people have a preconceived notion about what meditation is. And I try to point out there's so many ways to do this. It's not just,
Right, it's not just, exactly. And I think that's an important point, that, meditation, number one, is not difficult the way a lot of people perceive it to be. And there are different ways to go about meditation. This morning I was teaching a class, and the simplest thing I taught them was to learn how to deep breathe, which is a very simple form of meditation. But I think it's very important, the work that you do. And I do want to remind the viewers that Janet's information is scrolling along the bottom of the screen. If you're interested in more, please take a moment, write down her information. You can contact her to find out if there's something she has to offer that may be of interest to you. In summation here, what is your goal down the road? What are you looking to see happen?
I want to spread the word, I guess. On a small scale, I'm doing it through my center, but on a larger scale, I would like to reach people with the internet, just positive affirmations, just examples of things to do to kind of get out of the physical self, art, things like that. But basically providing people tools and knowledge to self-heal.
And I like the aspect of the art. I understand that right now you haven't been practicing a lot of it, but that you're hoping to get more into art. And as we see even people today grabbing the adult coloring books, okay, because it's a wonderful healing tool. It's a way of relaxing. It's a way of getting back in touch with us. So I can't wait for you to, you know, get back into your art. In fact, Janet will be with us at the Holistic Health Expo August 14th at Delaware Park at the Marcy Casino. This is the 5th year I'm presenting this event, and she'll be there and presenting some artwork for the children as well. I think that the work that you do is absolutely wonderful, and the energy that you bring to it is fantastic. If there were one way that you could sum up for the people, the viewing audience, what one tip would you offer to them?
I spend my days spreading love, light, and wisdom. And that's my advice to everyone. Life goes much smoother that way.
It's absolutely beautiful. And again, the name of your center is the Illumination Wellbeing Center. And where is that located? What city is that in?
It's in Cheektowaga on Harlem Road. It's right off the 33 Expressway. I like to think of it as centrally located.
Yeah, it's kind of centrally located.
Yeah, it's
definitely. When you look at where you've been and where you are now and the transformation that has occurred in your own life, how does that make you feel?
amazing and fully in belief of what I sort of preach, that everything happens for your greatest and highest good, no matter how bad it might seem at the time. And it took me 10 years to come around to look back at that and realize this is true. And I'm walking the walk and talking the talk because I've actually experienced it.
It's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. And I look forward to learning more about you and what you do, and I hope our viewing audience will, take a moment and check you out as well. I thank you very much for being here and being open and sharing this information. I'd like to wrap up the session by saying bless you, namaste. And I do ask that the viewing audience stick with us. We'll be back shortly. We have a little bit of a commercial break, and we'll be back with our second guest, who has her own amazing journey to share with us today. I'm Jill O'Hara, the host of Planting Seeds. Today I'd like to invite you to a special event. I host the annual Holistic Health Expo at the Marcy Casino in Delaware Park. This year it will be held August 14th from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. You can expect to find between 90 and 100 vendors there, all talking about different avenues of holistic care. You can look for massage therapy, you can look for essential oils, hypnotherapy, Reiki, energy work. There's so many different opportunities to interact with people and educate yourself on all the possibilities. It is always a family-friendly event. It's free to the public. Some services are offered for mini sessions for a few dollars. And this year I'm especially excited because we're going to have a children's demonstration section, which will be going on all day. We also have the adult section where we have speakers and demonstrations. I hope that you'll make the time to come out and attend this special event. Help us to celebrate our 5th year, and I look forward to seeing you there. You can also go to www.plantingseeds.us and look under my events and workshops for the other workshops I do, as well as the balanced living events that I'm hosting at the McKinley Mall in Blaisdell. Thank you. Thanks for coming back to Planting Seeds. My second guest today is Jaren Weinstein, and I'd like to welcome her. She is a licensed massage therapist and a certified yoga teacher who has her own fascinating information and journey to share with us today. Welcome, Jaren. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So, tell me a little bit about you. Tell me, how did you get into licensed massage therapy? What prompted you to go that route?
Yeah, well, it's a second career. I originally was a paramedic, spent most of my career in Pennsylvania, and then moved back to my hometown, Buffalo, New York. And I was pretty much burnt out.
Yeah.
And I loved emergency medicine, and I loved taking care of people being in the realm of healthcare. And having a background in yoga, I imagined that massage therapy would go very well with that, because that was more of my dream, and I think more of my talents lie there. So I made that switch. I went back to school as soon as I decided to do so, and graduated a year ago, and have been practicing for a year since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're working as a paramedic or in the emergency medical field,
Yeah.
it can be quite challenging.
Yes.
I've been there. I
Yeah.
worked emergency medicine for about 15 years, and I know the stress that it can
Yeah.
create in your life. And
Yeah.
I imagine today your life is a heck of a lot different than it was when you were working as a paramedic.
Yeah, very.
And tell me a little more about your background with yoga, because that really seemed, from what you've told me, that kind of played into how you got more into holistic care.
Yeah, that was a huge transformation for me. I was very fortunate to be raised in a family where my mother and father both practiced yoga and used the philosophy of yoga to help me whenever I was in need, sort of an emotional state of just being young. As a teenager, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was dealing with some very serious personal issues. That I was taking prescription medicine for. And I think I was around 19 when I said, I don't want to have to take this forever. That's just not my choice.
Right.
And I turned to yoga because that's what I knew. My mother practiced, and the philosophy touches on how to deal with the mind and the body. So I turned to yoga for my own personal practice, and that did help me. And I don't have to take that medicine. And that's when my personal transformation came, and the journey is much larger than that.
Right.
But that instigated me to say, this is what I want to give back. What I needed, I feel like a lot of people will benefit from.
Okay, I can definitely see that when we're talking about things like yoga, which can be transformational. I first got into yoga when I was a teenager, and I didn't get back to it until I was much older. But it is another option for people today to go to when you're feeling overwhelmed, when
Yeah.
you're feeling stress, when you're feeling pressure.
Absolutely.
Because as you mentioned, it brings together the mind, the body, and the
Yeah,
spirit.
right.
And as we know, and I'd like to share with the audience, the mind, the body, and spirit is what holistic care is all about. And it has to begin with you. Okay, so
Yeah.
you learned that at an early age as
Yeah.
a teenager,
Right.
and were able to incorporate that into your life.
Yeah.
So now that you've gotten there, and then you went on to become a licensed massage therapist, tell me a little bit about what you feel are the benefits that massage therapy plays into what you're doing.
It ties in really nicely because, like I was saying, part of my journey, I was in retreat centers, specifically women retreat centers, and it provided me the opportunity to have the space where I wasn't bombarded or I wasn't needed by the outside world. So it was just me, and it was quiet. Not quiet inside, right? So that's where it starts, and that's where I was led by other people. I didn't do this alone. I always had what I called either mentors or teachers helping me. So in these retreat centers, those people helped me go through and resolve my own inner issues, to find that happiness and to find out where happiness actually really is. And so I knew at some point in my life I wanted to provide that same space for other people. And so massage therapy has a lot of benefits, from very physical, tangible benefits. A lot of medical complaints people have, I can treat that. But ultimately, it's about that space that a person can come in, even if it's for an hour, to be quiet, so that they can then attend to their own self and what they need, and hear their own self. What do they need? Because it's that disconnection with your own self that can cause a disease. And I think that's very valuable and important, and we don't push that in our culture, to say it's okay to be quiet, it's okay to do nothing.
You're exactly right
yeah.
there. We live in a world that is, oh, it's so go, go, go.
Yeah,
And everybody is moving forward at such a rapid pace. Nobody is teaching or nobody is paying attention to the need for having that personal time, that quiet time, that downtime.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe even our children, this is something that we need to be teaching our children.
Yeah, very much.
Because we're way too busy, and we're multitasking, and
Yeah.
when we learn for ourselves and for our children and to teach our children how to get quiet and get away from the outside world, that's where a whole different world opens up.
Yeah.
The world of imagination,
Right.
the world
Yeah.
of completeness and joy,
Right.
and
Exactly.
all these things start interplaying with us.
Right, right.
And we have to get back to that point. So I think it's
Yeah.
wonderful that you bring up that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Massage therapy is fantastic
Oh,
for helping
yeah.
to ease physical discomfort
Yeah,
and everything else.
yeah.
But it has a much deeper aspect to
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I personally receive massage, and one of my favorite benefits is not only is my physical tension relieved, but my mental clarity is there. The morning I wake up, I'm clear,
Yes.
and that's normal.
Right,
That's
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But many
Yeah.
people don't get to experience
No,
that because they're too busy.
no,
just
and it's
rushing.
nobody's fault. I don't ever blame or say this.
No.
It's just, was the opportunity ever given for that person to know this is available?
And this
And
is
this is
what you
helpful.
are
Yeah.
hoping to
Yes.
provide for people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, I know you have a vision and you have a dream
Yeah,
about what you'd
yeah.
like to be doing
Right.
along these lines. Can you
Yes.
tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, I'm very happy to say that I have a space where I'm going to be opening up my own massage therapy business called Sitara, which is a name in Sanskrit which means morning star, and that came to me in a dream many years ago. But as I said earlier, the dream had started probably longer than this, but in my own mind 15 years ago, to create this space. So I'm opening up Sitara. It'll be a therapeutic sanctuary for women specifically, and it'll be a quiet place for them, an oasis for them to come and to find comfort in their own selves again. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Jaren, what you're looking at is just creating a true oasis for women in particular to go and to get to know themselves,
Yeah.
to experience who
Yeah,
they are
right,
and here
right.
outside of
Yes.
the busyness of the world. And again, we know, women play a very important role in society, and it's become more and more so that they're kind of bombarded. We raise children, we take care of elderly parents, we work jobs, we're maybe entrepreneurs on top of that.
Right.
And rarely do we attend to ourselves in a part
Yeah.
of self-care.
Yeah.
And what you're going to be offering is the opportunity for women to come and to learn
Yeah.
self-care.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In a very
Absolutely.
unique.
Yeah, because
environment.
it's all unique. Because when you're in your own world of self-care, who are you? You're discovering that unique self, and that's part of the healing, is you're being you and not being stuck by what was it I was supposed to do, and things of that nature.
I got
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I got
it's a part
that.
of the healing.
Exactly.
And prevention. A massage therapy is a very preventative tool.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think that's an important, point
Yeah.
that you make there. We can use massage therapy and any other holistic healing tools as preventative.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I like to stress here, as I always do, that when I talk to holistic practitioners and I talk about the things we talk about on planting seeds, these are not things that we want to take away from traditional medicine.
No, not at all.
We want to use these as a complement to traditional medicine.
Yeah.
That we can integrate them so that
Exactly.
people can really begin to take care of themselves,
Yes.
to heal themselves,
Yeah.
still use the knowledge and the skills of the traditional community,
Right.
but also learn some new things that can take them to a deeper level.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so your healing center is definitely going to be something that's going to allow that space to happen. With the opportunity comes no distractions, okay, which is wonderful. When you look at where you've been and where
Yeah.
you are now,
Yeah.
and where you see yourself in the future,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that transformation?
I feel very grateful. I am utterly grateful for every single person that was on my path that helped me, because this was not something I did alone, and not one second. The only thing you do alone is the work, and that is the hardest thing to do. But it is so valuable and is so worth it, because we all deserve to be happy, because we all are inherently happy, and if we can find that connection again to ourselves, I think that will be good for the whole community.
Yeah, I definitely agree
Yeah.
with that. We all deserve a lot more than we generally expect for ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, and it's in learning and teaching others that you are, number one, deserving of good things in your life. You're deserving of happiness, health, wholeness, and well-being.
Right.
And I'm really looking forward, as things go on in the future, to see where your center takes you,
Thank you.
and the people who will be involved with you.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. And I'd like to thank our viewers for taking the time to sit with us and learn about all these, interesting and helpful tools and healing techniques. Please look for Jaren's information at the bottom of the screen.
Thank you.
Contact her if you have any more questions, if you'd like more information. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you very much. I'm Jill O'Hara, host of Planting Seeds. I'm a registered nurse, certified holistic health practitioner, and a Reiki master teacher. I work with individuals and groups using health and well-being life coaching skills. I also work as a community speaker to bring workshops and classes to the general public, to businesses and small groups, to provide information on holistic care. You can find me at my website, www.plantingseeds.us. You can find information on there about holistic care, herbal medication, supplements, essential oils, and there's also listings for online education that you can take at your convenience. I look forward to making contact with you in the future. Thank you for joining us here on Planting Seeds today. It's my hope that we've provided you with some valuable information that will inspire you and motivate you to dig a little deeper and go a little bit further. Thank you and have a wonderful day.